Hi, I'm Rebecca Ashton from Quest Elite, here with another video for you. Today we're going to look at the plank. So the plank is a really good exercise to work on your posture and on your core, as long as it's done correctly. So why is it good for riders? When we're on a horse, you got to think of your body as like a cylinder. So you don't want that cylinder to move around, but sometimes you want the feeling that the contents within the cylinder can move. So if your horse needs to be pushed forward a little bit more, yes, you use your legs, but you also want to keep up with the energy that you've produced with your legs. So you've got to almost have the feeling that you're pushing the contents of that cylinder from the back to the front of your body. So back to the front. If your horse needs to be corrected and brought back a little bit with your body, yeah, your hand might be used a little bit, but your body has to bring that horse back and stay with the horse's movement, and basically you need to do with your body what you're telling the horse to do with his body. So that feeling is like the contents of that cylinder are coming from the front to the back. So you're not moving backwards and forwards, but the muscle tone within that cylinder, which is your torso, are changing. So the plank is a very good thing to help with that. The focus is obviously on your posture, and that comes from your deep core muscles, and the main focus in the plank is your transverse. So what we want to be really careful with in the plank is that you're not staying up so long that all your muscles are starting to work and take over from your transverse muscle, which is the muscle that goes all the way around here. So if you start trying too hard or trying to hold the plank for too long and you're not doing it from a correct place, your other outer muscles, which are really there to move us rather than hold us, will start gripping. And that's not so good for, well, just functioning in general, but also for riding, because you need to be able to give aids, you need to be able to rotate your body, and so these outer muscles need to be able to still move and function. So today I'm going to look at the progressions of the planks, so starting from where you would begin if you've never done a plank before, working up to planking on two big footballs. Okay, so if we start with a plank, if you've never done it before, you're probably best to start on your knees and your hands. So it's really important with this stuff that you think about how you're doing it, not how long you're doing it, like I said. So it's got to come from the correct place. So you want to have the feeling that you've got, first of all, your knees under your hips and your hands under your shoulders. Okay, this is just a nice neutral position. Have a feeling that you're lifting the front of your body up to your back without actually moving the back. So I don't want that to happen. I just want the feeling that you're just holding. Okay, then you can just practice that, letting go, and then bringing those abs up and holding. Then you can progress to perhaps moving your knees further away and holding that position like this. But you want to be very careful when you do that you're not sinking down into your hands and you're bringing your shoulders up to your ears. So make sure those shoulders stay down your back and you have a nice diagonal line through your body. If you progress then onto your feet, so you tuck your toes under and come up. Okay, you still want your hands pretty well under your shoulders there. Things that can go wrong. This is popular, dropping the pelvis down to the floor, so you've got to make sure you hold it up. The other way to cheat is keeping the bum too high. So try to keep this position nice and horizontal and really feel like it's coming from deep within your body, that you're not just Then what you can also do is a plank on your elbows, which a lot of you I'm sure are familiar with, and the same thing, you don't want to drop the pelvis down and you don't want to lift it too high. So just nice and even, keeping a neutral spine and keeping your abs lifting up the transverse muscles. The difference between those two mainly, if you're doing it on your elbow, it's quite good for strength, and you're using more balance when you do it on your hands. Okay, hold it for, I want to say as long as you can, but not to the point you stop breathing and everything tenses up. You're better to do a little bit and then stop, have a little break, go back to it. The other way you can look at a plank is also side planks. So this helps with the waist, and if you're on a horse, you don't want the horse throwing your pelvis around, so it helps to get good control muscular control of your waist. So we can do that here, keeping a nice straight line between the feet, the hip, the shoulder, one hand in front if you want, and this elbow under your shoulder, and you can lift yourself up and hold that. If you feel like your balance is okay, you can take your hand up there and hold that. So you're really working the underside of your body, or you can also do it on your hand. This time your fingers will be pointing away and take your body up. And you can play with that position, stars and things like that, but that's a little more challenging, but not impossible. But the same principles apply. Then, and only then, can you try it on 2 balls. And the nice thing about doing it on 2 fit balls is that it's unstable, so you've got to be a little bit more dynamic in your posture and your balance. So here I've got my 2 fit balls. It's probably best if they're the same height. These 2 aren't, that one's a little bit bigger, but that's okay, we'll cope. So what you can start with is just doing 1 at a time. So you might start, just put that on the side for a sec. With 1 foot. Still keep your hands under your shoulders, your foot on the ball, and then swing yourself up so you're in a nice position. Still working on keeping your neutral spine, keeping the abs lifting up, and just controlling it from deep within your body. So after we've practiced on 1 ball and got that under control, we can move on to 2 balls. So I like to try to start in the position as close to the position on the ball as I can. So that would mean I put my elbows and lower arms on the front ball, and I have put one leg on the back ball, and I just swing the other leg up and hopefully stay on. Keep as stable as you can. Keep the abs engaged, keep the shoulders down, and see how long you can hold it. So have fun with that. Practice it, but practice smart. So you want to be smart before you work strongly. Enjoy it, ride better, and be nice to your horse.